In the heart of the Igbo land, where the sun dipped into the horizon and painted the sky with hues of crimson and gold, there was a small village called Owerri. It was a place where tradition and culture were deeply rooted, and the people lived in harmony with one another. Among the villagers was a young man named John, who had a peculiar habit of eating at any restaurant that caught his fancy. John's friends and family had always warned him about the dangers of eating at strange restaurants, but he never listened. He believed that every restaurant was the same, and that the food was always good, no matter where he went. One day, his curiosity got the better of him, and he decided to try out a new restaurant that had just opened in the village. The restaurant was called Ezioku's Kitchen, and it was run by a mysterious woman named Ezioku. She was known for her delicious cooking, but also for her strange and eerie ways. John didn't think much of it, and he walked into the restaurant, eager to try out her food. As he sat down at a table,
he noticed that the restaurant was dimly lit, and the air was thick with the smell of spices and herbs. Ezioku herself came out to take his order, and John asked for the special of the day. She smiled and said, "Oh, you want to try my famous Nkwo dish? It's a special recipe, passed down from my ancestors." John was intrigued, and he eagerly waited for his food to arrive. When it did, he was taken aback by the strange appearance of the dish. It was a dark, murky liquid, with bits of meat and vegetables floating in it. He hesitated for a moment, but his curiosity got the better of him, and he took a spoonful of the nkwo. As soon as the liquid touched his tongue, John knew that something was wrong. It was bitter and foul-tasting, and he spat it out immediately. But it was too late. The nkwo had already taken effect, and John began to feel a strange sensation in his stomach. It was as if his insides were being twisted and turned, and he felt a wave of nausea wash over him. Ezioku appeared at his side, a wicked grin spreading across her face. "Oh, you should have listened to the warnings," she cackled. "You should have never eaten at my restaurant." John tried to get up and leave, but his legs felt like jelly, and he stumbled and fell to the ground. Ezioku laughed and said, "You should have never eaten at my restaurant. Now, you will never eat again." As the days passed, John became increasingly ill. He suffered from stomach cramps, diarrhea, and vomiting. His friends and family tried to help him, but nothing seemed to work. They took him to the village doctor, who examined him and shook his head. "I've never seen anything like this before," he said. "It's as if your stomach is trying to turn itself inside out." John was desperate for a solution, and he began to search for answers. He went to the village elder, who listened to his story and nodded gravely. "I know of a curse that can cause such symptoms," he said. "It's a curse that is placed on those who eat at strange restaurants, and it can only be broken by eating at a restaurant that is blessed by the gods." John was skeptical, but he was willing to try anything. He set out to find a restaurant that was blessed by the gods, and after many days of searching, he finally found one. It was called Neoma's Kitchen, and it was run by a kind and gentle woman named Neoma. Neoma welcomed John with open arms, and she listened to his story with compassion. She examined him, and then she said, "I can help you. But you must promise me one thing: you must never eat at any restaurant that is not blessed by the gods." John promised, and Neoma gave him a special potion to drink. It was a bitter taste, but he swallowed it down, and almost immediately, he began to feel better. The stomach cramps subsided, and the diarrhea stopped. He was able to eat again, and he was grateful to Neoma for her help. From that day on, John never ate at any restaurant that was not blessed by the gods. He told his friends and family about the curse, and they all agreed to avoid Ezioku's kitchen. The village elder confirmed the story, and soon, the whole village was talking about the dangers of eating at strange restaurants. As for Ezioku, she was never seen again. Some say she was banished from the village, while others say she was cursed by the gods themselves. But one thing was certain: she was never seen again. and her restaurant was left to rot. John's story spread throughout the land, and it became a cautionary tale about the dangers of eating at strange restaurants. People began to take heed, and they started to seek out restaurants that were blessed by the gods. And as they did, the village prospered, and the people lived in harmony with one another. From that day on, John never forgot the lesson he learned. He knew that there were some things that were better left untried, and he lived his life accordingly. And as he looked out at the sunset, he knew that he had been given a second chance, and he was determined to make the most of it.